What's going on, Blerds, nerds, and everybody in between? It's your boy Wyatt, the sensei of the Syndicate, and we are here with another episode of With the BS. So today we're talking about actually there was a lot of stuff that happened this last week. So we are actually talking some of our favorite moments when it came to Comic Con this last week. So before I do anything else, I want to be able to bring up the people or the person here that's with me today. KB, what's going on with you?
What's up? What's up?
So how was the first day? What's training
Uh,
going?
so the first day was Monday, and so
Hmm.
far so good. Had some technical stuff to work out, but we're in there,
Well, there we
learning and
go.
whatnot. They have 1,002 acronyms for everything, and my memory is terrible, so that's fun.
Yeah, so it's just stuff that you're just like, okay, well, I got to write this one down.
Yeah, I got a post-it notes app because that's where all of that's going. Because otherwise, they gonna fire me before I even start. I'm not gonna memorize any of it.
So we got Tots. What's up, Tots? It was great having you on last week, and I learned a whole lot about board games, so that was really really cool. Um, but today we're talking about Comic Con. So I know on Sunday you said that you hadn't caught a whole lot of it. So what have you caught now?
So I've gone back and looked at a bunch of different trailers for things. I've seen the Ant-Man 3 trailer like 14 times because I keep watching it since somebody leaked it, and I'm really excited about that. I have some opinions that my friends disagree with, and I don't care, but I'm really
Mm.
excited for this movie to hit. Like, say, I'm so excited.
Here we go. Tase, it was definitely fun having you on, man. I learned so much. I was calling everything a board game, like board game, card games, everything. And then that, but it was really, really cool. But what I was, so what was the biggest, like, so I know probably Wakanda Forever was a big one for you. Um, but was Ant-Man something that was that up there too with you?
It was like, and they're both up there for different reasons for me. Wakanda Forever is up there because I feel that movie is gonna make me tear up, if not outright cry.
Oh no,
Like
not
that.
thug tears.
Well, not because it's just like, granted, we didn't know Chadwick, but he gave us an amazing turn at this character, like phenomenal. And then Angela Bassett's delivery of her line about what more could she possibly give, like that is a master at their craft, giving you their best before that movie even hits like the
Mm-hmm.
stage. Like that is a gorgeous delivery and line. And Marvel has had like some really good like lines because you
Yes.
have Vision's line to Wanda about grief and
Mm-hmm.
love. You have Wanda's line to Reed before she did what she did to Black Bolt. You have Angela Bassett's line. And now you have, if you've seen the Ant-Man trailer, you have Kang's line at the end of that trailer is absolutely chilling.
He said something to the extent of like, have I killed you before?
There's actually some debate on that because of the audio cuts in and out on the clips.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people are saying he says, "Oh, you're an Avenger. Have I killed you before?" And some people are saying he said, "Then I have killed you before."
Hmm.
Like, then I've killed you before. So to me, if he said have, like that's much more dangerous to me than saying that I have. Because saying that I've done it before is kind of like a throwaway. But if
Mm-hmm.
he said have I, like I don't even remember. I killed so many of you guys now that I'm just, marking tallies off on my wall. Like that's a whole another level of disrespect.
Absolutely.
And I'm here for it.
Oh, my mom showed up. Hey, mom. My mom asked, should I'm guessing she's thinking T'Challa, should he be revamped? We had a whole conversation on the drink and draw, but I I think he should. I think there's a lot of more areas so that he can be done in a tasteful way because they've said by the producers that they're not going to have that 616 T'Challa. Okay, Mom, so I gotta break it down to you. So there's some different universes, and so in these universes, they have the same characters, but they can be portrayed by different people. So what's happening is they're saying that that particular character, the one that Chadwick is played, that he'll never be recast. But because they're going to different universes, like they did in Spider-Man, where there were three different people that played Spider-Man, they're saying that well, the thought is that they could have somebody play another version of T'Challa as the Black Panther, and so that way they still have, the loss that goes on, and it doesn't cheapen it. But also, I brought him in, and I didn't even get to introduce him. One third of the things people don't say podcast, the Husky Hokage himself, Marcus. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Sensei? KB, how y'all doing?
What's
Good.
good, man?
Yeah, I just jumped. Well, kind of. I'm hearing what you was going over, and if we talking about what if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, I'm tired of it.
uh, yeah, we
Yeah, actually,
talked about it on Sunday, but KB, you had to dip though.
yeah, and actually, that's what I was saying. Like, I don't think that he should have been recast, especially for this movie. I think it was the right call to not do so.
Mhm.
But I do know they have actually said outright that they were simply not recasting him for this movie. They never said that T'Challa wouldn't be back at all. They've never said that they don't intend to ever recast him again. They simply said for Wakanda Forever, he will not be recast. And that's kind of their tribute to him and how they're handling his passing, which to me makes 100% sense. Because
Mhm.
while we as fans are grieving, that cast is grieving a castmate, a friend, a brother. And I get that, people in his family have said he would want to be recast. All right, that's cool. But you're not in a position to make that decision. They had to make it. So I feel as though we need to respect that decision because it could not have been easy to sit there and look these people in the eye that worked that closely with him and loved him that fiercely and make a choice on what you were going to do. And because we're dealing with the multiverse, I do think he will be back. I just don't think they're recasting, like you said, 616.
Yeah, I think it's important so that you know we had some time to grieve, and as a whole like cinematic universe, I think it's good to give them some time to grieve, some time to understand that hey, this is this person and this meant a lot not only to comic book character or comic book fans, but also a whole culture. So it's good to be able to say, okay, listen, we're going to take this one, take a knee, so to speak, just to be able to say, hey, we lost a real one. So um, that's really really good. Um, what else, KB, did you like?
Um, I liked the unveiling for just like Marvel's schedule. Because I know they do that all the time. They tell you what you're going to get and when, but I really like the fact that we're getting a Thunderbolts movie. I'm interested to see how this plays out and who we're getting in this movie. Um, because they've already set up. You have not quite Captain America because I can't remember that man's name. I just remember the actor went to UAH for a bit. You
Wyatt
have
Russell,
yes, but I don't remember the name of the man that he played. I just know he's not quite Cap.
U.S. agent.
Good.
That man.
I forget his name, but yeah,
Um, and then Yelena is it. At least for the setup right now, it looks like she's going to be a part of it, but I don't think that they have outright said if she's in it. So I'm just curious to see how they handle that roster and where we're going to go with it. I'm excited to see Daredevil back. I'm really excited, especially because they put him in that classic, like ketchup and mustard outfit. So I'm excited to see. And I think that Charlie Cox deserves to have that role back. So I'm really excited to see him come back and what they're going to do with it.
All right, so my mom said that she believes his character was dynamic and that they should not have been recast for. So they haven't done it, but I think there is a grieving process, and I think but life but like in life, I think that also you need to be able to have somebody pick up that mantle because a lot of times you got people who pass away or go away too soon, and you don't have someone to pick up where they left off in certain things. And it's not to say that you can't replace them, but you know what I mean. The struggle doesn't end just because that person did.
Can I? Oh, go ahead, Kevin.
I was gonna say, and also, I have a rant. This is something that y'all know that I was gonna do anyway. If you open your mouth, if you fix your fingers over your keyboard, whether it be on your phone or on your computer, to complain about the possibility of a woman picking up the mantle, read a comic. Shuri carried that mantle. I'm sorry, but she did. And I've seen a lot of men complaining about the possibility of a male not having that. Shut up. Shut up. Because again, yes, did she hold it temporarily? Absolutely. But she held it temporarily more than once. Shut up. Open a comic book. Burn your keyboard.
Yep. Marcus, you had something to say?
Yeah, it was kind of a rant. Um, I echo and ditto what KB was just saying. I'm really tired of seeing people outraged at the fact that T'Challa wasn't recast or we're not having a male Black Panther. I totally get what they mean. Where I totally get the point of it meant a lot, especially this for like me, like myself, my son. It meant a lot for my son seeing someone that looked like him hold the type, be Black Panther, be T'Challa, what he was and who he was, like being the king, like smart, intelligent king of a whole nation. But I've seen so many people upset about the fact that T'Challa's not in this movie, and they going all in on well he should have been in this movie. He should have did it. They should Disney. They're gonna mess up by not recasting. There's so many stories they can tell with T'Challa. There's so many blase. And I'm like, bruh, if y'all paid attention to anything before they showed the Black Panther trailer, the whole name of this saga is called the Multiverse Saga. Just because we're not getting T'Challa in this movie does not mean he won't be recast ever. Like KB was saying, like if y'all just sit and let Disney cook, I'll say this, I said it before and I'll say it again. We are so spoiled with these movies that we take them for granted. Everybody, it's always they feel like they gotta, this, bruh. Enjoy these movies that we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like just chill out and let them cook. Like it's not over. This is a whole nother saga. This is Black Panther is going to end phase 4. And from phase 4, we pick up with phase 5 with Ant-Man and Quantumanium or whatever. Like, and it's going to run to phase 6. We have so much going on. This is the multiverse saga. I guarantee we will get another Black Panther, another male-led Black Panther, if that's what you so-called want. But just chill out. Like, I'm so tired of seeing people. I saw, now granted, it was clickbait, but somebody was like, they're calling for Black people are calling for the boycott Black Panther. And I'm like, bruh, chill out. And like, granted, that part was clickbait, but you look at some of the tweets, like the guy was like, I think he said something to the nature of, we shouldn't, I got it right here. He was like, we don't have to accept T'Challa being killed off in a fictional MCU because the actor who betrayed him in one solo film has unfortunately passed. As Boseman family members have stated, he would say he wanted to be recast or whatever case may be. But my thing is, it's just one movie. Chill out, and it's so crazy. Like, it's just people up in arms about nothing. Like, it's like you got to have something to complain about. Like, I remember when Infinity War happened, and T'Challa went away. Then you had people upset about that. Well, why did he?
Oh yeah, they were big mad. They was like,
it pisses me off. Like, chill out, bro. This is the whole thing. Chill out, and it's just so upsetting. Like, I understand some of it. I can't say I understand some of it. I see what you mean. I know what he meant to little kids, especially Black boys and stuff like that. But my thing is, this doesn't mean he won't be. Just chill out and enjoy the ride. Like, it's so much going on in this movie.
Yeah.
And if you think Killmonger should have been brought back from the dead to claim that mantle, I want you to go outside and touch some grass.
Thank you.
Killmonger was not a good person. I don't care what points you think he made. Where he was wrong was also trying to commit genocide. Because at the end of the day, that's what he was on, and he was not right to do so.
I
And if
don't
you're
agree.
saying recast him as Black Panther, you are problematic in the worst way. Shut up.
I don't want Killmonger.
I'm saying I could see Loki. I could see Killmonger being Black Panther, but it's a whole redemption story I have. It's not a Killmonger as he is. You know what I mean?
I don't.
And that's what I'm saying. If they give us Killmonger, people are going to be mad because it's not the Killmonger that they want that was vengeful, but it can't be that Killmonger because he would not be worthy of wearing the mantle, which is what they skipped in the first place when they did the whole succession thing. But in truth be told, he would be unworthy. Bass would not give it to him. So shut up. Touch some grass. Read a book and touch some grass. Take a book outside and just lay in the grass and read.
I got you.
Please.
What about um, X-Men '97? Are you excited about that?
I am. They said most of the. I think they said a lot of the voice actors are coming back too. Not. I don't think everyone is still alive. Maybe I could be wrong about that, but I think majority of the people who were involved are involved in this. So I'm low key excited to see this come back.
Cool.
I was gonna say I did have one other thing. I don't know. It's like it's a theory of what I think is kind of going on in Wakanda Forever, but I can hold it till later. If I don't want to. I don't want to spoil nobody's stuff. Like I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but it's just a theory I have.
We'll hold the theories until we get closer.
Because I have some too. So yeah.
Yeah. So we'll hold it till like that week before we like Wakanda Forever comes out, and we're like giving predictions. That way we can talk about it then. But I think there's a lot of stuff that I was really excited just to see Comic-Con back, because for the last couple years it got weak. And then the other thing is I think it was one year that Disney, because they have D23 that comes out in September, they just don't they still got stuff in their bag that they're going to show out for D23, which I'm really excited about, because they gave us all of this and they still, they're going to show out at their own place. You know what I mean? So,
I think we may get more. It's some things they haven't released, or some things I don't think they like I said, they haven't said about. But I think maybe at D23 we get more, maybe Star Wars stuff. Maybe they may go that, because it's like they got so much under the Disney umbrella now. So like I said, they haven't mentioned X-Men or anything about X-Men, and we've got so-called mutant. Well, I haven't watched Miss Marvel, but they say Miss Marvel is a mutant. Also with Wakanda Forever, Namor is also half mutant or whatever, half Atlantean or whatever the case may be. But that's because his mutation is the wings on his feet or whatever the case may be. So, and you see him in the clip, like when I guess in the trailer, you see I guess when he's born and they're under the water and you see his wings on his feet, like that comes from him being a mutant. So that's what I'm saying. So we get mutants in the MCU. So I'm not sure if they're gonna announce something, or maybe they may pull something out the hat and like maybe slate something for X-Men or something later on. But I would love for them to do that, but I still want them to. I think maybe at D23 we may get more like Star Wars related stuff, something along those lines, maybe some other stuff, but hopefully we'll also get some X-Men related stuff, something that's gonna actually put mutants in the MCU in the right way or whatever the case may be.
There you go. Well, one person or a group of people that I feel bad for is DC, just because they couldn't really bring as much stuff as they wanted to. Because if you think about it, like they can't bring a trailer for Flash without bringing Ezra Miller, and then you bring all that bag of tricks in there. Then you can't really bring a trailer for Aquaman because you got Amber Heard, so you got to deal with all that mess. Then, like, depending on where they are, you know what I mean? They had Rock out there, and I heard Rock got booed because they wanted Henry Cavill to show up, and he was floating and shooting lightning bolts out of his hands uh, onto the screen. It was a whole thing. They booed
So,
him though.
time out, time out. They really booed The Rock.
Because they thought it was going to be Henry Cavill. Because everybody was saying that Henry Cavill's coming back. They're going to announce a new
But
Superman movie.
you don't boo The Rock though, bro. Like that's I understand you upset. But you don't boo The Rock.
I don't think they were booing him, but they were booing him
I
like
guess
because they were expecting someone else, and what they saw wasn't. So I don't think it was him, but it was the maneuver that they pulled.
okay. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
It's just like it's a wrestling reference. It's just like how Roman Reigns won the wrestle or what was it Royal Rumble a couple years ago, and they booed him because they wanted Daniel Bryan to win. So then after that, they messed up that whole thing. I think that's the same kind of thing where they were just like, okay, we're gonna have this person win. Oh, it's not this person. This really sucks. So it's a lot. But I think I feel bad for them because like they had Super Pets coming out, and you know what I mean. And then they had Shazam and Black Adam, but
I really don't care about Shazam. I'll watch it when it comes on. I'm not going to the theater to see it. I mean, it's gonna be probably gonna be a fun movie, but come on, I mean, I, I wait.
I'm
Not saying it's
trying.
not gonna be good.
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out how it is that their animated movies are so great, but they're actually like I'm trying to figure out what's happening here
I got you.
because
So
clearly you know how to do it. So what's the problem?
so so it's a point of there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen trying to like, okay, well, I help contribute to this one. Whereas since those animated shows are going straight to DVD, nobody really cares. But they don't care as much. And so then they had I think it was Bruce Timm, the one who did Batman the animated series and things like that. He was the main producer on that one. Um, and so yeah, Tom Price brought up a good point. He's saying because the comic writers for the animated films, and none of them are for the live action. So like,
I can see that.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If you know that this formula is working, right? Because people love their animated movies. So why not take a chance and hire one, at least for the script? Like something? It,
well,
it
they
just seems like weird energy to me. Like you are purposely, you know, that meme where the dude's on the bike and he sticks the stick in the wheel and falls over and he's like, all right, why would you do this to me? That's what I think of every time I see a DC movie. I'm like, y'all are purposely sabotaging yourselves and I don't understand why. Like you have a successful formula. Use it.
well see the thing is they're looking at they don't think that the formula
But
translates to like cinema. They think that like so a lot of times what they did, especially when I thought about like Batman versus Superman and the Justice League movie, a lot of times they looked at statistics and was like, okay, well, people don't what was it? Like with the Batman versus Superman movie, they were like, okay, this movie's going to be 2.5 hours long, and they were like, no, that's too long. So we need to make it between like 99 and like it couldn't be over 2 hours long. So then after that, they sacrificed from that point because they looked at statistics rather than looking at everything else. Um, and so it's just they don't really they just thought of it as an opportunity to just make money, and they thought that anybody who likes these properties, they're gonna flock to them just like they did Marvel. But the thing is, Marvel took, you had Kevin Feige who ran everything, who had, I'm pretty sure he's outside of his first plan. You know what I mean? But I think there was more planning done to develop these characters versus just throwing them all together. Yes. So they don't want to pay. Tom said that they don't want to pay them for the writers and artists for the credit that they're due, which is unfortunate because they're great stories. Uh,
Right.
and even if like I look at Marvel stuff, like they take a little bit of the information that they have from maybe a series or an event that happens in there, and then they kind of adapt it to that because there's not going to be 100% accurate comic book live action translation just because there's so much, but
It's
they
too,
at least have enough so that you can be able to have a nod to it where those comic book people can be like, oh, okay, you see that because that was in the comic books. But
And that goes back to what I was saying, I think last week, where I was like, the thing with Marvel is, yes, they gave you established characters that you know from comics, right? But they actually built those characters. Whereas DC really does bank on, hey, everybody knows who Aquaman is. We just gonna put him in this movie and we're not gonna explain nothing for real because you already know. And I feel like they did that with every single character that they gave us. Like they really didn't build their world so much as they say, hey, you know what it is, here you go.
exactly. The one thing I did like about Batman versus Superman was they didn't rehash his whole origin story. Because like his, I'm tired of seeing his parents die. You know what I mean? There can only be so much, and that's what I also enjoyed about the Batman too, because they didn't really do that same thing over and over again. They just were like, okay, well, there's stuff that you don't know. However, we're not going to show 8 or 9 year old Bruce being shown that his parents died again.
so, and that, I see. I came out today that Kevin Feige was saying that the Fantastic Four movie that we're getting will not be an origin story,
That's great.
and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. If you don't know who the Fantastic Four is, hey, my brother, hey, my person, pick up a comic book or something. Like you can go check out Ron Jefferson Comics Explained. They got plenty of people that you can look at on YouTube if you need to know who the Fantastic Four is. We don't need an origin story for the Fantastic Four.
Hit my inbox. I got you. Don't be
Yeah,
rude.
yeah.
I will explain the Fantastic Four, and I will also direct you to. They're not great movies, but they will at least explain who they are. I will direct you to the first two movies.
There you go. I'm with that, and same for me. Question though, I got one question.
What's
So
up?
I know we say a lot of people say that. So is the MCU actually 616? Because I've heard that from different people saying that. I've heard like a producer say it is 616. I think I'm not sure if it was Kevin Feige. Someone also in the say said it was like it's not 616, it's Earth 1999 or something like that. It's like I said, it's conflicting information. I don't know if Kevin Feige said, but 'cause, like I've heard it from people in the camp of Marvel Studios saying, "Hey, it's not Earth 616." I've heard them say it is 616. So it's been throwing things off because in Multiverse of Madness, they don't necessarily say the other Earth they went to with the Illuminati was their Earth was like 833 or something like that, and he didn't necessarily say our Earth or the main, where Stephen was from, the original where the Stephen was from was 616. So what I'm saying they haven't really confirmed it, nor have they denied it from what I've seen or from what I've researched or whatever.
You say that, and now I'm doubting myself because I thought they said it in Loki, and I'm trying to think if it was the Russos or if it was Feige. Now, one of those camps said it was 616. I will look it up and I will get back to you on it because I should have the clip saved, but I have a lot in my phone to try and pull
I,
that up right now.
I
But
understand.
I will show because and now I'm wondering if I'm remembering it wrong because you said that, but I really think it is 616.
If
And see
not, it's like
that's
615 or 617.
And see, that's what I was saying. That's because everybody keeps saying, "Oh, we're not. This is we like same Black Panther was like, we can't. We got to have the child in the 616." And that's my and from what I can remember. Like I said, I could be remembering wrong. The MCU is not exactly Earth 616. That's why some of the that's why some of the stuff changed. Like if you look at some of the characters they play or some of the characters that's been in the movies, they're not they're not the same character they were from the actual comics. They're like a combination of a character or something like that, or a combination of that character and someone else. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like and when I looked it up, I seen where a couple of some producers said, "Hey, that is the MCU is 616 or based in the 616. But I've also seen some producers, some people in the Marvel camp saying it's not Earth 616, it's Earth 19999 or something
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm getting now, and it's two different producers
that.
have said two different answers is what's happening.
And I don't think Kevin
So
Feige confirmed anything either.
Well, hold on. Let me look at
it was just a question, but yeah.
one of the other things that I'm excited about, because I just put this on the screen.
Mhm.
Well, first of all, Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out on my birthday, so woohoo! I'm happy about that. But I am excited about Guardians of the Galaxy because I think they've done a really good job.
I
Um,
I am. I'm
and
not excited, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
no, James Gunn, like especially on that last one, Volume 2, definitely made me a little bit it got me teary eyed at the end where he was like, "He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy." And I was like, loved it for real.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Exactly. So I'm gonna stick this up here. I don't really care about Agatha in the Covenant of Chaos. I'm gonna be
No one
honest.
cares about Agatha.
you know what? I'm gonna say this. I think that in terms of world building, I'm okay with Agatha having her own little thing, especially because of who she is in connection to Wanda. And I'm curious as to the
All right,
route
Mom. Have a great night. Go to sleep.
I'm curious as to the route that they're going to take with it and whether or not we are going to see, because everyone is, everyone was claiming Homeboy Mephisto was going to show up and he didn't. And now, there's kind of rumors sparking up that he's coming back yet again. Again, I don't care about him because give me Kang, but I'm curious as to see if we're going to start to see some other villains kind of roll in and out in between because, Kang Dynasty is basically phase 6. And we are probably about to see the end of a lot of characters that we enjoyed so far because of the new characters coming in, which is kind of where some of my theories are. Like, people are mad, but I really want Ant-Man to take that L. Like, I want it to happen.
Yeah, no, I think it's too early for it. Just because like he's only had two. No, has he had three movies?
This is his third movie, and not
Okay.
only is this his third movie, but he's popped up in both of the well, not both, but he was in the other one. He got to be the hero. He got the girl. He got his daughter back. It's time for him to take an L.
Okay. All right. I forgot about the second one. I didn't
And
forget about the
also,
second one. They
right,
ran together. The first and the second one ran together.
but here's the other thing. We all know Cassie's up next. Like, this is clearly established that Cassie is involved. So there's no reason to have both of them in tandem for real. And also, we have not seen an Avenger take a massive L in their own movie the way that Kane could do Scott dirty. And I just think from an impact point, right? Because yes, you can kill any other character in his continuum, and people are going to be, a little misty-eyed, and they're going to be a little upset about it. But how much greater is that impact if you take the guy who got it all, won, came out on the other side with that big shiny W, and put a hole right through his chest?
Okay. I'm not gonna argue with you. You make some valid points. Now, the one thing I think is going to happen now that I'm looking at this, because like they fleshed out this part, but then after that they only just gave us new new Avenger movies in 2025. Okay, what a time's
Those
up.
were temporary ills, though, Tom. They were real temporary. Because think about it, the house arrest, was he absolutely bored? Yeah, but he didn't really lose a whole lot in that situation.
Because his
Like he
daughter was
was
there.
right, he was still able to do things. He just was bored out of his gourd, and that's sucks. but it is what it is. And even being stuck in the quantum realm, he's the whole reason that they were able to come back and have that second shot, because he's the one who gave them the idea that Tony turned around and perfected. So yeah, he took L's, but those L's were extremely minor by comparison. And when you add it, he really got a big shiny W for it, because he comes out the massive hero in all of this. So yeah, I don't think his contracts are renewed either. I think this is Paul Rudd's last one, at least for right now. So
I think you
know
what I
I've seen
think.
the end of him.
You know what I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be something similar to, like, he may lose a limb. He may do something where it's like where he can't be a superhero anymore, but then after that he can be a dad. I think. Okay, so I'm gonna go in what I think, even though it's like 6 months away. I think Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer are gonna die, and he's going to be able to take over the spot of, like, hey, I'm going to be a mentor, which is going to be real weird for him, because he's having to relearn his daughter, because the last time she was like, what, 11 or 12. Now she's like 17, 18. He missed the awkward phases of it. He's trying to navigate that, and he still wants to be able to be more than just, you know what I mean, just a guy in the chair. He's got to have to learn how to do that over again. But I also believe that after Captain America, they're going to have a Young Avengers team up.
Yeah. And see, that's what I'm saying. You already have Sam is pretty much like, he's Cap. He's going to have to be in that mentor role. Bucky is his second, so you got a mentor there. Scott's the odd man out here. Like, he really is. And I get, like, having that connection with his daughter and seeing him go through growing pains. But in all honesty, Kang and the way that he is as a villain, I feel, and maybe I'm wrong, like, it's a soft L. It's a soft L. It only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades or whatever folks be saying. Nah.
It's a little L, not a capital L, huh?
Yeah,
right, that's a lowercase L. You can almost confuse it with an I. No. But I just feel like giving Kang a major body in the Avengers' own movie, that's a power move. And that honestly will set him apart from a lot of the other villains that we got to. Because, yeah, Thanos got the win initially, but we all knew what it was. We knew that was getting reversed.
I would say
knock somebody off in the worst way.
I would say this. I agree with Wyatt. I think now I don't know if anything's gonna happen per se to Scott, but I do agree with Wyatt where I think Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer, maybe they get knocked off. Only reason I say I don't think he's gonna be all right is because I think they're gonna save everything for the two movies, two Avengers movies, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, because Secret Wars is coming. And if you know anything about Secret Wars, we're getting Doom is gonna be here, and I'm gonna keep it at that. But
well, yeah, because you need Doom for Kang, so that makes sense.
So my Doom is gonna show up a lot sooner than everybody thinks. But one reason I think nothing's gonna happen. I think they're gonna save those big those deaths like we had for like Endgame, or not like, well, not Endgame, but like something like it's gonna be safe for like Secret Wars or the Kang Dynasty, maybe Kang Dynasty, and he doesn't come back after that or something like that. Like something may happen, but I don't think he's gonna die. But I think they're maybe gonna hold it out. But I do agree with KB. Kang catching a body, an Avenger, because it in the trailer, they showed at Comic-Con, somebody released not a snippet, but like they did like a caption of it, and it was like Kang said, "Are you an Avenger?" or something like that, and he answered, "I'm an Avenger," and Kang responds back, "I'm a conqueror." Like, bruh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Scott comes on and he's like, "You're making a big mistake. I'm an Avenger." And Kang was like, "Oh, you're an Avenger?" And that's where the dispute is, where he says, "Have I killed you before, or I've killed you before?" Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. And not only that, but if you look at it You get Ant-Man, I think, first, and then Secret Wars, or one behind the other, whatever that looks like. That's why I say killing Ant-Man then at the end of his movie. Yeah, because you kill him at the end of his movie. Kang's official campaign doesn't start until later. So go ahead and kill him then. People are on pins and needles for the rest of all of this because now you got to see how they're going to piece together of what's going to happen. Versus if you let Ant-Man get away, yeah, it's anticipation, but it's not the same. You let that man catch a body though?
What Tom Price?
I got it.
I agree with you. Okay. What Tom Price just said. I saw that earlier.
My big issue is too much of MCU keeps rehashing the blip, but no one is talking about the dead celestial that's taking up a quarter of the ocean. That's a big fact. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. I think now that I thought about it, because I remember Secret Invasion.
I don't think he's dead either. I think he's just still asleep.
Well, I was thinking this. Like, I think Kang the Conqueror will catch a body, but then it'll turn into a scroll, and then after that they'll be like, oh, because like that's how they found out at first, because like I think they killed Elektra, and Elektra like turned back from looking like Elektra to then being a scroll. Maybe I may be thinking wrong about that.
I can't Elektra was one.
I know Tony Stark was one too.
Stark, Contessa.
But you know what they had also? What it was? They did those in the show. What was the show?
Agents of Shield.
Agents of Shield. What's they called? LMDs, life model decoys. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're called. Like they also had those, but I can't remember like this whole storyline behind those. But
damn, Tom, you are right. They have not mentioned at all the fact.
No, in the past two movies, it hasn't been mentioned.
They have not mentioned the fact that there's these big ass fingers hanging out of the ocean, just chilling there. I'd be mad. Like you got a whole head sticking out, and nobody said anything.
And then my thing, they like the end clip in the end of the post credit scene in the end of Eternals. Like I want to know where that's going to come into play at, where that's going to pop up at, because can we do sport? I'm going to spoiler alert. If you ain't seen Eternals, I'm about to say something about the post credit scene.
We had a whole spoiler episode about that. So go ahead.
So the end credit scene where Star Fox pops up and like he tells them about what was going on. They got to rescue the other ones. Like what are we like? What is it going to lead to? Like if they're going to be finished up in phase 5 and 6, or would that carry on to something else later on down the line where we get, because I mentioned it in I think that episode where we get maybe a Galactus or something coming, you know what I'm saying? So I want to know when that's going to wrap up, because that's very interesting. You get Star Fox, Thanos' brother, show up, and that's it. Like we won't get nothing else. Like I want. They got to finish that storyline, or they got to include that somewhere down the line.
I think it's coming, just because it's bothering me that I can never remember this lady's name. But the one in the purple that pops up at the end of Multiverse of Madness is a Celestial, or no, she's an Eternal. Not she's an Eternal, I think.
You talking about this Dormammu's daughter, or is it daughter or niece, something like that? The one, the Multiverse of Madness. I'm sorry, the girl that pops up
at the end with Strange's third eye open.
Yeah, isn't that that's I think that's Dormammu's daughter or niece. It's something. She's related to Dormammu in some kind of way.
And but she's one, and then the other thing that's been bothering me storyline wise, bro, where is Adam Warlock?
He's coming up in Guardians 3.
Right, but this is phase 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they just released phase 5 that's coming out, and then we know Kang is 6. So
Kang is
y'all have set up the Celestials, y'all have set up Adam Warlock. What are y'all doing? Like, where are we at here? Because I'm stressed.
I know he's going to be in Guardians 3. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to do with him after that, but he's definitely going to be in Guardians 3. They say the guy that's playing him has like bulked up, put on muscle, and did
Yeah,
everything.
it's so this is gonna sound real rude, but I promise I don't mean it that way. He looks like the physical
Please.
embodiment of Chicken Little to me. But
Yeah,
it's William Poulter, something like that. Yeah.
it's
Clear.
Thea
That's what it
pops
is.
up at the end of it. She's
Was she on
strange, assistant, lover, and next
Yeah,
source.
so Supreme.
I
Yeah,
could have swore she was an Eternal. Maybe I'm tripping and I'm
I don't
mixing
think
her with somebody.
I didn't
I
think she was
appreciate you,
eternal,
Tom.
but I know she was like she was related to Dormammu in some kind of
Appreciate
way.
that, Tom.
I appreciate you because I'm stressing. I really thought she was somebody else.
But, it's craziness.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. My brain's not working now.
Well, you've been training all day, so then I tell you, your brain is like, listen.
Listen, it'll reboot. Appreciate your time.
So, yeah, I just feel sorry for that part for DC. Marvel is coming with it. You know what I mean? I think there's going to be. I do want to make sure because I'm sad if they don't have Armor Wars because that wasn't in there.
They did mention they didn't. It wasn't on the thing, but they're still planning on doing Armor Wars, and I think it may be. I don't know if it's going to be before Ironheart or after Ironheart because I think she's a. I think she may be Riri's going to be in some form or fashion. So
Her being in the Wakanda Forever trailer, I love the fact that they showed her in that trailer.
yeah,
Love it.
So, so Black Panther ends Phase 4, right? And
yeah,
then and then after that we go to Phase 5.
with Ant-Man and Quantumanium, yeah, that kicks off Phase 5.
Okay. And I think sometimes like with Disney they're gonna hold some stuff back because if you tell somebody's story, like if you tell, say for instance, there's Armor Wars after Ironheart or whatever they're trying to do, that may ruin some of the stuff. Like if they had Young Avengers on the
Yeah,
docket, then everybody's like, oh, they got that coming. But you know what I mean? It's gonna probably be announced after they do Secret Invasion, because then
yeah.
after that you'll have Hulkling there.
And see, I was thinking, they were mentioning, I saw some people saying that Marvel is putting out too much stuff, and I think what messed Marvel up, or messed up a lot of people, was the pandemic
Hmm.
that kind of pushed everything because I think they were slated. I'm pretty sure we are still gonna get a lot of this stuff, but it wouldn't be so, I guess, so back to back to back, kind of how it is now. Which is, I kind of like it, but I know some people are, oh man, I'm exhausted on it. I'm tired of whatever the case may be. But I think it's cool. You get something that you got your shows, and then after you got 2 or 3 shows or whatever. Then you got a big movie, same thing, another show or two, big movie. You know what I'm saying? So I
I
think
think this shit
it's
is dope because now that I look at it again, like you got stuff to go on because like then it keeps you fresh in there, and then like for a business model, that's not bad either. So
it's
then you either go get this money from the movie theaters or you go get this money from
uh,
Disney Plus.
And see, I agree. And see, people complain about, well, the movie, they get a movie and it's like, oh, but they didn't tell all the story. They didn't tell all this. That's why they had the shows. The shows come in and they tell other parts of the story to bring it, you kind of give you full circle to keep you in the loop. Like I love what Marvel is doing. And I hope I know it can only go on for so long, but I enjoy it. Like I said, I grew up reading all these about all these characters and all these stories. I'm enjoying this. I'm here for the ride. As long as they're doing it, I'm here for it.
Right.
Mark my
Like,
mark my words. I think it's going to be like 4 years from now. You're going to have a Squirrel Girl, probably a television series. Like they have enough people to, and now that they got the mutants back, they got enough people to do this for another 10, 20 years. As long as the market is there.
they could easily run it longer than that because even still, you have multiple stories from multiple characters that you can honestly, same thing they've done with everybody else, reboot and retcon and run it again. And somebody somewhere, you're gonna get their coins. And to this, I say, if you have superhero fatigue, just don't watch it.
Yeah, watch it in your own pace.
Right. You can always leave it and come back later. You don't have to go see this movie. Right? You have choices. You do not have to be a part of this if you don't want to be. But for people who are enjoying themselves, again, I say to thee, shut the hell up.
Yeah, there it is.
There you go.
So, um, yeah, I think that was really good. Um, one thing that they also announced, it was right before Comic Con, that Dragon Ball Super Heroes the movie is coming out in like 3 weeks. It's a limited release,
Yes,
and I'm excited about that.
I am too. We definitely got to see that. Gohan finally gets his just due. So yeah,
Hell yeah,
it's gonna be good to see.
tired of him playing it like that.
Man, we ain't gonna talk about it. And, but yeah, I'm excited to see that. I heard that we're getting another TMT movie. Another, I think they're gonna do another live action Teenage Mutant Turtle movie. And even though the ones they did, the previous two they did, where I don't know, I just couldn't get with them. But I mean, they were okay. But if they give me a good one along the lines of original, even if they go like kind of dark, like the first one, the very first one was, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I don't
Also,
think it's gonna be dark because I think it's written by like I think Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
yeah, yeah, okay,
So
okay, yeah.
it's gonna be.
Mm,
I don't want a coming of age story with my Ninja Turtles. I need them to just whoop ass and just have some egregiousness that goes along with it.
exactly. Like, and I say, it don't have to be totally dark like the first one. Maybe along the lines of the second one, because the first one was kind of dark. Like the first one, it was. I enjoyed it. I was only maybe 4 or 5 when it came out, but I enjoyed
Played
it.
the hell out that tape.
Man,
That
what?
tape got wore out.
Because it was because you see Casey Jones try to kill Shredder, like literally he hit the little thing to
There was
the trash.
murder and death.
Basically, but that also I don't know if I don't know if it came from Comic Con, but of course Transformers Beast Wars is coming. I'm excited for that.
Yes.
That I can't wait till they drop a trailer for that. But it's a
I heard
couple
they're making another Pokemon Detective too.
Pikachu. I mean, the first one was okay. I mean, but
I was just bullshitting. I just thought it was
they
gonna get you excited.
they
So,
nah. I mean, Detective Pikachu was okay, but if you want to give me a Pokemon movie, give me something based off the Pokemon manga. I don't want Ash is cool, but I want
Ash
something.
need to grow up, bro. He been 10 for like 30 years now.
We ain't gonna get into this, but
I'm just saying.
the battles. I agree with you, but the battles they are doing now they haven't been came over to America yet, but you can see watch them on YouTube. The battles they're doing now, there's some good battles going on, bro. It's
It's on Crunchyroll too.
they know Crunchyroll. I think it's on. I know I saw it when I watched it on YouTube. I just
Okay.
watched. It's like this, like the top 8 battling. So it's basically like champions from the other regions, and Ash is included. And they battling to see who number one. So hey, it's been some good battles, bro. Some good battles. I think I posted a picture of Garchomp and Haxorus going at it in the chat, bro. That was a nice little battle right there.
Yeah, I mean, but Pokemon can't stand up to Digimon now, and evolve form. And I just want to put that out there.
I don't care. I'm still riding Pokemon.
So, yeah, it's always a good time though. Like I think it's really cool to have those characters that you've grown up with, but I also want to be able to see some development. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I think that's where a lot of shows go wrong, where they just go ahead and they still play to the crowds and not challenge them in thinking. And that's what I think a lot of times now Marvel has done a really good job of having, like, say for instance, a mystery map wrapped in superheroes, or having, you know what I mean, different things. Because like I think they really got their formula right when they did the Winter Soldier Captain America movie.
yeah. They do like they're superhero movies, but they have like a some other type of genre with them. Like I think Multiverse of Madness was supposed to be like a horror slight type of almost like a horror type of movie with wrapped in a superhero movie, wrapped in some horror and stuff like that. Like it had certain elements and stuff like that. They do stuff. They do put it in a different genre. It still is considered a superhero, but it still has like, oh, this is an action thriller or whatever the case may be. So a spy movie. So
yeah. So, so anything else I want to talk about? This is the freestyle.
Not well. I guess when we end, I'll chop it up with KB about my theory. But other than that,
I do want to say that I really appreciate Marvel's. I'm not sure if I would call it a sense of humor, but acknowledging for the Illuminati to call Strange a threat in every universe, and to have Reed Richards a part of that team, and to know that Kang is a descendant of Reed Richards is absolutely hilarious to me. Because it's your bloodline that is literally a multiversal threat. Like Kang's whole bag is that he's a multiversal threat, and that's just the funniest thing to me. Like I literally fell out on the floor laughing.
So does that mean that Sue Storm has to be black, or not Sue Storm? Sue Richards.
No, because he's not. So you know that Sue and Reed have a son, Nathaniel. So Kang's name is Nathaniel, not to be confused with their son, but he is he's a descendant of their family.
I thought it was Reed Richards' father was Nathaniel because the son is Franklin. Franklin is Reed Richards' dad's name was Nathaniel.
Yeah, and so it's a descendant of So he's a part of their family. And so it's just wild because I think at some point they say that he's also probably a descendant of Doom, but they never officially confirmed like where his bloodline lies with all of that. And so because his armor is based off of Doom's like schematics and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's wild. And it's like, sir, you call this man a multiversal threat and this is your family's fault. Y'all did this shit. Because he's from like what, the 31st century? 31st?
Somewhere down the line.
I think it's 31st. But yeah, Kang was basically like, oh, I like this universe. I want it. And everybody was like, you can't have this one. You got to go somewhere else. And so he popped up somewhere else and was like, all right, this one's mine now. Because at first, I think he was in like ancient Egypt and he was worshipped as a god. And then the Fantastic Four ended up like time traveling and ran into him and basically pushed him out there. So then he went too far. He was trying to go back to his timeline, went too far. He was like, I'm the conqueror in this one. And then the world was dying. So he was like, I got to go back just a bit further and get it before we get to this point. And all of this is mine now. So that man was just hopping time streams or something.
Well,
it's all Reed's fault and his daddy.
Do you know in the comics they have they have like Reed Richards and his like different multiversal selves. They have they call it, I think they call it like the community of Reed Richards or something like that, where they all, or the communion of Reed Richards, like they all convene. It'd be about, it's 1,000, it's however many, but it's a bunch of them. They all convene and they work out problems or hash out ideas, stuff like that. I'm just like, bruh, it's crazy.
And then they essentially took that with Kang, because if you remember in Loki, he literally said it was a bunch of him in different timelines that figured out how to time travel, and they all went to each other's times and they were borrowing each other's ideas. But a few of them decided to be a little bit more hostile than the others. And once they started, they really couldn't stop.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. I really like what they're doing with this movie. I'm just, like I said, I'm so glad they're just giving Kang his just due. He's not going to be a one and done bad guy.
Listen, if you think about it, not only is this like the Richards family's fault, right? But also, all of this is happening to this universe because of white woman tears. Because had gender bent Loki not did what she did, we wouldn't be here. And I just want people to keep that in mind when y'all watch these movies. They're trying to tell you something.
It's gonna happen in a Resident Evil show. Still, it's such a bad show. It just sorry.
You know, it's a really bad show. Resident
Don't you
Evil.
do it.
That's what I just said. That's what I was saying.
It is like the CW's version of Resident Evil.
I told you if they could have named anything, but if it didn't have Resident Evil attached to it, it would be all right. But because they put Resident Evil on it, they messed it up.
You know how bad it was? I had to watch the other Resident Evils to get that taste of that Resident Evil out of my mouth. And that's
pretty bad.
It's all bad. You know how you were talking about said white women's tears? It is like that.
That's basically the whole problem. That's basically the whole problem.
They got badass kids that don't listen.
Trying to save a damn bunny.
Hey, what now?
Bunny.
Yep. Go ahead and watch the first episode.
No, I'm not doing that. Actually, no, I might. So, is it bad? Is it bad? Like, I'm trying to think of how do I want to. Is this bad? Like Sharknado is bad, which makes it hilarious, or is this bad? Like, why did I do this?
It's bad. Like decisions, common sense is not prevalent in this family tree.
I mean, you could say the same thing about that for a lot of movies. Like Jurassic Park, we got here because y'all didn't utilize common sense. Ain't nobody gonna sit here and tell me that you thought that this was a good idea. I don't care how big your fences were, how much electricity you pumped into the. You can't tell me that you honestly thought any of these ideas were okay.
Technically, the first Jurassic Park, had it not been for whatever the guy's name was, yeah, if had it not been for him, that park may have been all right. It still something may have happened.
So you mean had it not been for people being people? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because that was a person being a person corrupted by greed, which is something that we as a whole do. So what you're telling me is that if people weren't who they were, we wouldn't have been in that position. Meaning you shouldn't have brought them back.
I'm just saying.
Actually, and I got another one to go along with it. So then it would be even worse as well because, like, say for instance, Jurassic World was, hey, they didn't have that person that wasn't greedy, but in the same instance, they still had a whole bunch of people that got chewed up by dinosaurs once one got out, once one understood the system, and then after that.
That's clearly people. Now that one, Jurassic World is different because that's clearly clearly people. Because why would you want to make something even more dangerous than the T-Rex? Like, why?
Have you met people?
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Like, I get what
you
you're
met
saying.
People? Because again, like I said, even with the first one, had people not done what people do, this wouldn't have happened, meaning you never should have brought them back. So again, common sense is not a flower that grows in everyone's garden. And proof of that is the fact that y'all even went this route. So
Jurassic World Dominion was whack though too. I just want to say. Jurassic World Dominion was whack.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was all right. It was
it was straight. But you know what? It wasn't the greatest movie ever, but
I went in with the fact I knew I was going to get some type of nostalgia. The fact that we got the original three, they brought them back, and I was like, okay, I know what I kind of know what I'm getting with this, and I'm here for it. And I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. KB said I enjoyed it. I really did.
Yeah.
And
first of all, I feel like
T-Rex,
the T-Rex has been taking L's since like Jurassic Park 2.
But it should have been, like, historically speaking, it should have been.
Yeah.
For the longest time, like, history had us, under the impression that the T-Rex was the biggest, baddest thing. But history has shown us within the last, 15 to 20 years that wasn't the case. So it makes sense for it to be taking those L's. So I'm not sure what your complaint is.
So then also, we're going to talk about the Grim Reaper dinosaur. And then how did all these other dinosaurs come about? Because if they stopped making dinosaurs and the only ones that they took were a limited amount of dinosaurs from Jurassic World 2 Fallen Kingdom, then how did we get all these other ones from there?
What you mean?
Oh, because they just didn't tell you how many of each one they took
Oh,
is
yeah.
what it was. It was like a Noah's Ark situation. They
Yeah.
basically took enough to kind of repopulate like that specific type of area. The same way that they in real life, animals do what they're gonna do and you get invasive species. Look at Florida. Florida is basically Australia just on level 9.
Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about how everything in Australia is built to kill you.
Exactly, and Florida is turning into that, including the people.
Touche.
I had something to say with that, but I'm not gonna say that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I just ain't my part. I said this ain't the things people don't say because I ain't gonna. I don't want to keep that to myself.
No.
Put it in the chat.
There we go.
I got you.
But yeah. What else? I think that was it. That's all I had. I gotta watch. I haven't seen Thor yet. I've been preoccupied with some things, but I'm gonna go see it soon. And then
see it this weekend.
How, without spoiling it, how did you like it? Or
without spoiling anything, I'll give it a. We're going on a scale to, I say 1 to 5. Go on a scale to 1 to 5. Maybe a 4. Maybe.
okay.
You can, yeah, because it to be honest, it's probably a 3. But some of the stuff that go on, I laughed through the entire. I thought it was more comical than anything to me.
Okay.
I laughed through the entire one, so that's why I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So. But it was, you can clearly tell Taika Waititi did it, but it was all right.
I feel like it was too silly for the villain. And that's really my only complaint, because Gore, the God Butcher, deserves to be everything that he is. And that's really my only complaint here. I liked that I got confirmation on a lot of things that I thought was going to happen before it happened. Because again, I'm one of those people, I don't mind a spoiler. I just want to know if I'm right.
Yeah.
So I got the confirmation for things I wanted confirmation on. And that really was my only knock, was that Gore deserves to have, in my opinion, like a more devastating storyline than what we actually got. And so I felt a little let down by that, which is also why I want Kang to catch a major body so bad, because I feel like at this point we kind of need it with our villains. We need a villain to come in and set that tone of this is what it is and this is how this is going to go. Thanos really gave us that, not like from his first steps onto the screen, just because they really decided to change the story after they gave him to us, like that initial glimpse. But in all honesty, when he showed up in Infinity War, we knew what was coming. You knew half of them was about to take a L. You also knew they were coming back.
I would say you found out how dangerous he was within about the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movies, when he whooped the Hulk's ass.
Literally,
and the Hulk did not want to come back.
Man, he beat him back pale. Like,
no, he beat him back too. He was like, I don't want to even be bad no more.
He's like, I'm good. I'm gonna stay in here.
He beat knowledge into him, literally. He turned him into a smart man. So I'm just saying, like, we kind of need that villain again. Because I feel like the other villains we've gotten since then, it's not that they have been completely god awful, but there's been almost no real stakes here. Like we know what's coming. But you bring Kang in and you let Kang catch a major body, everybody's put on notice at that point. So now coming into phase 5, if he catches that body at the beginning of phase 5 and we know he's the overall bad for phase 6, it really does set that standard of, we have a problem. He is an issue. What are we going to do? And I think, we deserve that. We deserve to have a little more complication with these movies. Not complication. What's the word I want? There's a word I want and I can't find it, but whatever it is, we deserve it. Complexity. We deserve some complexity. And Kang killing someone would be very complex for them to have to unravel. Because what are y'all going to do? The baby Avengers would have a meltdown.
What are you gonna do? Um, well, it is. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out next. I don't know what else they have coming out this year, as far as
I
that's
think
concerned.
I think Marvel after the we got She-Hulk here next month, but after
Okay.
She-Hulk, and then we got Black Wakanda Forever. But I think that's really it for that for the year. We may get one. We may get they would may sneak in one more series.
I thought something like Groot. When does Groot come out?
That's
Something
like
like
shorts, though. But that's like little
yeah.
short clips or something. But
What Groot? But um,
What
I
do they do?
mean, it's like
And
I
it's a
know he's been
tree.
cute.
Trees
Like
don't
I know
hurt
he's been
nobody.
cute. Like he's been like Grogu, and Groot. But hey,
I just want to know, like, is this because of the whole issue that you having with the snakes and bushes? Like, what did the tree do to you? All
nothing.
Groot wants to do
So
is dance and play video games.
the tree. I'm going to like. I got a plan for the tree. The tree's going not gonna. I'm going to unalive the tree.
I would say
During,
don't set the tree on fire. Why
I
it's not
can't.
going it's not going to turn out how you think it's going to turn out. Don't
Uh,
do that.
Upper management told me that there's a problem with insurance about burning up a tree.
The
So
tree didn't do anything. You're after a whole nother species, and the tree is getting got.
no, I was trying to get the tree down in the first place. I was trying to trim it up, but then after that, once I know that it was like a habitat to a rather large snake, it's got to go too.
How
Uh,
large are
So
you talking about?
I have a question for you.
yes.
When you take away the habitat for the snake, where exactly do you expect the snake to go?
So I have snake repellent,
Uh-huh.
and so I'm putting it
Like the
all the
bird
way.
repellent?
Huh?
Like the bird repellent you had that didn't
Oh no
work?
no no! I went ahead and got something commercial. I can't make some home remedies that look like I murdered a small mammal on my wall. I had to get that off with quickness. Upper management wasn't happy about that either. Uh, so so yeah. So as far as that's concerned, we actually have snake repellent. So I'm going to put it all the way around the house, giving it one way to get out, and that's it. That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Good luck.
Right. Because if that snake find a way around your repellent, what you gonna do?
Just,
Uh,
just hope it don't
well,
rain.
there's these things that I got that will unalive a couple of things. So I'm good.
All right. Well, best of luck to you.
Get your mongoose.
Huh?
They go get a mongoose.
They
They'll
are
take out the
cute.
snake. They'll take out the snake.
Absolutely. They really will.
Well, hey, do chickens do that too? Some chickens,
I hate chickens, so I wouldn't know.
because my next door neighbor has chickens, and I don't
I
know
don't
if I
think
just let them.
Only good
You know what
chicken is
kind
the
of
one that's
snake
on
it
your
is.
plate.
The snake will take out the chicken.
Oh well, never mind.
I
It's
think it probably
crazy because
depends on
they're
the chicken.
relative. You know what I mean? Because they're both because birds, even though they evolved from reptiles, so they're like long lost cousins, and they'd be like, stop the violence.
The only good thing about a chicken is that you can eat it.
It is good. Some tenders are great. So, well, I'm going to cut the tree down, right? But I'm waiting until it gets a little bit cooler because right now it's actually two different bushes that are together. And so I have to, but one bush has a lot of flowers. So then after that, there's a lot of like bees and stuff. So I
So
don't
you're
want
just taking on a whole ecosystem.
well, I mean, when they start paying rent, then they have some say so, but they ain't paying rent.
Bees are important. You
I
about to
understand.
displace a whole bunch of bees. Like
You
there's
get
a
the bees.
whole PSA about not doing that.
But there's also like 4 or 5 other trees in my yard that they also frequent, so they're all right.
About to have housing issues in the bee community all because you took away one of that's like tearing down an apartment complex. You just displacing a whole bunch of just terrible.
Hey, do what you got to do to keep upper management happy, bro. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
man. I got to do that. Upper management is on my neck, so I got to make sure I got to do something about this bush. Got to do something
And
about well the birds I got rid of.
Hey, it took you a year.
I, well, a month and a half.
Same
But
difference.
I sprayed them with water, and they eventually got out of that crevice, and then I'm filling it up with
They'll be back next
foam.
year.
No, I'm filling it up with foam so they can't come back. And then after that, I'm going to put something on that side of the house. So then after that, they don't feel as friendly to come into my abode.
You got to put a bird's apple or something over there. Don't you know what? Don't say it. Don't nobody won't need to be.
Is there a bird zapper?
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, that's that's
We're
that's
about
the
to have
ticket.
Peter.
Look,
Peter
people,
is entering the chat.
I would say people be up in arms about fictional animals getting hurt. So that's we don't even want to talk. They like just leave it there. We don't want nobody coming for the Blerd Syndicate because we said because why zap some birds.
I told you, Peter is entering the chat right now.
We want to smoke. Anyway, we're done talking about me killing birds or possibly doing something like that.
He didn't say kill. He said
Giving them a nap.
transfer birds to a different.
Nap time.
If they don't start nothing, it won't be nothing.
Relocation of sorts.
There you go.
Yeah.
Relocation from Earth to
hell. From my house to the dirt. That's where they're relocating to. But all right, so what we're gonna say, like we always say, is we want you to like, share, follow, smash that like button like the Hulk. We're gonna love you 3,000. But until then, we want you to be like the NWO. We want you to be like D Generation X and be just too sweet.